What's cracking, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of this how-to series. We're back at it again with our little heist script. Right, looking at our action plan, our objectives for stage 0.5. We have requirements of minimum police count and an item requirement, possibly an item requirement. This is a 50-50. You know, it's not necessary or a prerequisite in a very strict sense. Right, but we want to talk to an NPC. To talk to the NPC triggers the heist start, right, where a countdown starts and we get an item from the NPC. Now, in our script, we have our client main over here. Our variables, we just declared our data center, and I guess above it we can quickly do our config as well. So that is that. Now we have abbreviations for our config as well as our data center. Now we have an event to trigger the heist, and yeah, that is what we will do. Now in our server we will have to trigger our heist. This may or may not be things that we keep, but we will see. Once we trigger the heist, data center, first we have to check if the heist is triggered, right? If data center dot heist triggered, then return end. I know it seems illogical to check it twice, but we don't have a callback on this event, so therefore we have to double check. Technically our data center is accessible by the client and writable by the server, so it should be fine this way. Now if it isn't, then dc.heist triggered is true. Okay. At some point we will have a heist completed. Eventually, when we've finished the heist, if the heist is triggered, then we just return. If not, so if the heist was never triggered, then we just return and trigger server event. Just call it heist completed as well. Right, on the heist completed server event, what will happen? So once the client tells us that they've completed the heist, we will do what? We will set it to false. If the heist was never triggered, then we just return. Otherwise, we set heist.triggered is equal to false. That is all it will do. It is quite simple, really. Now, right. Let us see. We need to check for our police. We've already done that, right? So actually we can mark off the minimum police count, but it is still a requirement, so technically we didn't complete it. So maybe let's add something. Check police count periodically, right? Periodically. That is complete, right? But we still have the requirement for the NPC. Now I think let us work on two things. Right, first of all, we need, what do we need? Get the police count. We don't need that anymore, right? Because we save the police count in the data center. So that is not necessary anymore. Let us see. Well, trigger heist. Now we have a bunch of options, right? I think I want the script to rely on oxlib. The reason for that is because we are going to create a zone. A zone? What zone? We are going to create a circle zone, a sphere, with some data in it. Here we go. We'll copy that. Why? Why are we doing that? This is theoretically speaking a function. Why, oh why, copy. There we go. Right. I wonder, should this be in? Okay, on enter, on exit, inside. Okay, technically these are functions. We have an on enter, on exit, and we keep them local. Okay. Okay, we'll keep it to self, because self is the trigger. I mean, for debug, we can keep that. So what can we do? We actually haven't set up our debug yet, have we? That is quite an important part of development. Enable debug. Yeah, we have it somewhat. Go to our client. Wherever we have a print, we will say if c.enable debug, then we print something end. Right, in the front we have an up arrow 2 that turns it green. We have debug in caps with a semicolon. Up arrow 7 turns the text back to white with a space. So it'll just have that debug print in front of it, and we will copy this and duplicate it to all of these and the space and all of that. Right, now we can uncomment these. So every time we enter this sphere, we will have a debug notification on these coordinates. Now we have setup. Maybe we have config.ped. Right, we have position is going to be a vector 4. We have label, that'll be the text, talk to TED, like TED Talks, which used to be technology based talks. Quite funny, not really. And what else do we need? Label, talk, maybe do distance and do 2.5. Distance from which you can interact with PED. Okay. This is an interaction prompt text, and this is the position of the PED. Alright, now in our client main, these coordinates is vector 3, So, because it is only a zone, right? It is a zone. It is not a heading or whatever. So c dot head dot position dot x, because we want the x position of the coordinates, and that'll be the y, and that'll be the z. Radius would be what? C dot head dot dot what? Ped dot distance debug. Let's do c dot enable debug. Okay, inside that'll call that function, on enter we'll call that function, and on exit we'll call that function. We could theoretically give it things, but I believe that is the way it should be. Right. Now... Okay, so what this will do is it'll create a little sphere around our ped. Once you enter it, it'll show us a little menu. To get that little menu, we have to go to Interface, Client, Text UI. And that'll show a little menu like this. So we have to create a little text UI. That we will create below the whatchamacallit. Actually, we have to create it before. E dash, and then we do c dot head dot text. What did we call it? My memory label. Right. So we'll just concatenate the text and add it to that. Position top center. Yeah, let's keep it that way. Icon hand. Font awesome. Really good for icons. I have not actually linked that, but I'll add that to the links. Okay. Maybe have a phone. Nope. Go to icons. Then we search. Because a few times I've had trouble with it. Okay, while my internet is being internet. Right. Border radius. Let's do it a lot. 25 pixels. 25. Background color. What do we want it? X color. Right. Maybe purple for digital den. That's actually a good color. I'll just copy that straight up. Paste it in there. Color white. Yeah, let's keep white. That'll be the text color, I guess. Let's do phone and search it. Let's see what happens. Icons, yeah. That should have done the trick. Free. Let's do a smartphone. Robber. Thief. What? Police? No. Let's just do phone. Phone or hacker. Hacker. Hack. Yeah, that actually looks decent. So we'll just hello. Click on it. Click on that. It auto copies it for you. Pasting it there. Just comment that. And we'll have chalkboard user. Actually, let's copy that. Boom, paste. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. So that'll be the interaction icon, the style of our interaction little menu thingy, and we have our text UI. Now, back to this. Show text UI and hide text UI. Okay, so on exit, we will hide our text UI, and on enter, we will show it. Super simple. And then we need an interaction function. Right. Show text UI. That is only the show text UI. While inside, we on what is the key press native? Natives key press. You know what? I'll just borrow from something I've already coded, you know, because that is smart coding. Threads. This is a massive script, by the way. Inside, I have it here. Already have something for it. Okay, just copy it. We don't care about that because our interaction is by default going to be text UI. So is control just released? 0 ped control? Nah. What did I set that to? Just out of curiosity. Key 38. I'll send these links over on our little thingy. Right, so we might actually have to do the same thing. Key is, I'm gonna do 38, another comma, and actually going back to this config, I'll copy that so that is simple for future reference. In the client, ped dot, not control, but key. So if we are inside, we are going to hide the text UI on the key press, but we'll also trigger an event, and this would be something DH client side, of course, and talk to Ted, just because it's fun. Okay. We don't want that. We want... that's fine, we keep it that way. Right, so that should be that. We'll have to register our new event. Why did I do that? Let's just copy that so I don't have to retype it. Go back to here, talk to Ted. Talk to Ted and talk to Ted. So whenever we talk to Ted, we will give item and trigger heist, right? We will trigger event, and that'll be trigger heist, right? maybe we add a little function. Maybe we do the logic in the key release. So if data center dot heist triggered, then end. So if the heist is already triggered, we will notify that heist in progress. Okay. Now, borrowing from this script again, I want to actually forget about this one. Let's go to my trailer script. Right at the top, I now have a function for notify. So we'll copy that. The reason I'm using this notify function is because we are focusing on this script in particular, right? Notify style, let's just add it to our config real quick. It'll probably be a framework related thing, config dot notify style. Default. Okay, we'll have two options, a default and default scripts notify. And then we have custom. This is use your own system change event in cl underscore customize dot lua. Okay, so that is sorted out. We go here, notify, text type. Right, if the heist is already triggered, we will do notify. We'll tell it, hey baby cakes, sorry, I've already handed over my key. ... Right, we'll have to use double quotes because we have a single quote in the word I've for I have. And the type would be an error. So whenever someone presses E when they see this menu, if the heist is already triggered, the NPC will tell him, hey, sorry, I've already handed over my key. We'll return out of this function, like out of this control thingy, and we will just print that. And that would be that. If the heist is not triggered, we could just do else end and just grab this and put it in here. That'll just be logically safe. I mean code logic, not my brain logic. Right. So if the heist is triggered, he tells him, sorry, you already handed over the key. Else, if the heist is not triggered, we will trigger the event talk to ped. So when we talk to ped, we need to give the item and trigger the heist. We've already triggered the heist, so now we need to give item. Right. This can be done in a few ways, right? QBCore has an add item function, and I believe so does ESX. First of all, I think let us end the episode there, so it's not too long and tedious. What I do want to say before you head off is I am primarily a QBCore developer, and so most of the scripts I code is focused purely on QBCore. However, I do implement other frameworks, such as in this series we will do both QBCore and ESX. I also want to focus on EXX. However, when I'm coding this, I will only test it QBCore side, right? But as soon as I finish and I'm happy with a decent draft, I will start testing it on ESX. The reason I want to do it that way is because I want to isolate the problems and sort them out core related. Plus, at the moment I don't have an ESX installed. I do have all of the core files, however I have not yet set it up so that I can run the actual core. And I don't want to do that yet because I'm still looking at a way where I can switch between cores at will. So not really something that is on my mind right now. However, all of the functionalities is supposed to support either core. So even if you code ESX on your end and you find issues, you're welcome to voice your concerns in the Discord, which is linked below, so that we can sort it out as soon as possible. I don't mind giving support on that, and I'm sure I'll still be able to help you, even though I'm only testing QBCore side. If you are testing ESX side and you run into some issues, we can sort it out, no problem. So on that note, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Thanks for the support on this new series. I think it's pretty cool. I hope this helps someone learn a few new tricks. And on the other hand, I am really excited to very soon launch a series purely for beginner coders, and we'll go through Lua coding from beginning to end. And then this series will then be a filler or an intermediate second level course, if you will. I'm really excited to see where this channel goes, and I'm glad some of you are sticking along for the ride. Thanks so much. Appreciate it. Have a fantastic day. I'll see you in the next episode.